So Mick Jagger being as old as he is, still getting down and dirty underneath him. That is so funny. That just needed to be said. Like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as that ID Go app. You might want to get those two things and combine them together, make them wholesome into one. Something like that, and yet not a threesome or a love triangle or who knows what, even a Mick Jagger. Rolling Stones, shouts out to the Rolling Stones with even that. The love abstraction, being 1,000 years old, having two women in between. It's offset. I'm saying, I wonder if Mick Jagger knows that. He possibly don't even care. I'm saying, when I say it's offset, I mean in a sense that, you know, in regular normal society, they wouldn't think that sort of thing is right, and yet Hollywood is a playground all its own, as in what you can do with that, and not having the stage fright to go with it. Shouts out to Mick Jagger. His old ass still breathing. That is so funny. I can crack jokes on him all day, because yeah, he's cool. The misfit approach of even a Mick Jagger. Because he loves to in fact lay up in bed with women in their 20s and 30s. Women much more younger than me. I'm almost on my way to being 40 years old. And yet for him to be almost 1,000 years old and he's got, ladies in their 20s. That's off the hook. He ain't bad looking. No, he ain't. He's devious. Mick Jagger is. Many of them are. So, Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones, yes, must carry one hefty sex drive to be bedding, yes, two girls at once. Which is what this story is about, the two-timing approach. That's interesting in itself. So, 75 years old and over the commode with that. And I don't mean a constipated bowel movement. Right. He was spotted, yes, with a Melanie Hamrick. Melanie, age 31, and she's a ballerina too. The two were in New York, yes, Lavo nightclub, despite Mick Jagger already being involved with a film producer by the name of Noor. Am I saying her name right or wrong? It's Noor. I allow you, the viewer, to work that one out over your mind. I'm saying, Mick Jagger be taking chances, man. I remember when my mom back in the day used to have all type of jokes on my granny, because see, my granny never really liked Mick Jagger. When he used to wear those they was like spandex, was it pink spandex? I can't even remember. When he used to be dancing and prancing all across stage and he had to spin, that used to make my granny so mad. I wonder why that is. Maybe she must have had a secret crush on him or something, which could be why my mom used to pick and make fun of her with that, talking about, one day Mick Jagger gonna be your little honey piece. My mom was devious in the mouth towards my granny with that. That is so funny. But yeah, Mick Jagger, him being involved with these two ladies when it comes to kids. He in fact shares a 22-month-old son with Melanie, the woman I spoke on. That being Mick Jagger's 8th child. Number 8. That's what I'm saying. He must be completely fertile. And yet, is that a term that more likely you would use for a female? My objection is telling me that sort of thing. I'm saying his sperm seems to not die out the older he gets. Because to be that old, 75, and have a 22-month-old baby, is to say he's completely... nurtured down in the joints, if you know where I'm going with this, in the pants. With that. Would a swing back involved? I don't know. So Jagger played as Captain Save-A-Love, yes, to Noor, the filmmaker. Last year in Paris, he provided emotional support to the filmmaker during a stop on the Stones tour. Yes, he did. People need all type of support these days in the emotional department, more so women. Yes, they do. It's interesting how women love to, in fact, share a man. Or share men, I should say. That's intriguing in itself, as in to understand the mindset up under that. Why would you want to be a woman sharing a man with another woman? Threesomes can come out of that, yeah, but there's still always more. Entitlement comes with that. For some ladies, empowerment come with that. I don't know. Don't ask me why. I just can sense that. So yeah, he did that. The emotional support with the filmmaker, providing emotional support to her. To have three people involved, such as a Jagger, a Noor, I just feel like I'm saying her name wrong, and Melanie, is to say it's a love triangle. It's completely real, authentic, and true, and even that. It is. And all of this has to, in fact, be growing much more stronger and deeper in the process. The love triangle. What could make any one of these young ladies, outside of money, be so infatuated with a Mick Jagger, just enough to have a 22-month-old baby by him? What else is there? Outside of Mick Jagger's looks. Somebody say, well, he's not the prettiest boy on the block, and yet, who's to say? But I'm just wondering configuration with that. What could be so likable about a Mick Jagger? Maybe he acts rowdy on stage and yet in the bedroom and possibly on the sofa or love seat chilling with the ladies. Maybe he's a completely different, soft-spoken individual. Laid back, chilled with that. Maybe he's huggable as a teddy bear. I don't even know. I'm trying to see myself. I'm wanting to know. Because I know ladies oftentimes do get with men for their pockets, right? Which could be why a woman would prefer to have a baby by a man that age. She could be thinking, maybe I can, have a baby by him and some type of way have him hook up a will so that I can get when he dies, because the Rolling Stones is going to be profitable for life with that. As in, there's no death sentence once Mick Jagger dies off and the son is there, his baby by a woman, right? That's why women sometimes have baby by men at that high caliber status, and yet, who knows? Who's to say, right? They might in fact be completely in love with him. Nobody never knows. Some of these young women, in fact, look at a Mick Jagger like a father figure, because some women, in fact, didn't have their fathers in their life or never had their father. You got some that, in fact, had a deep bond with their father, and they perceive a Mick Jagger like a best friend or what. You have young women, such as the age preference he chooses. Some of them, in fact, have had possibly fathers with controlling issues, which is why they will reach to a much more older, a woman that younger age, reaching and latching on to a much more older individual, such as a Mick Jagger. Women who have had parents or fathers with controlling issues, seeing him as a parent or something like that. That is interesting in itself. The things you can ask why. So, Mick Jagger loving threesomes, I'm guessing it's so, and I said that for like the 5th time or something. Yes, I did. I think he could be more likely made for that sort of thing, because he is and was a rocker, still is, right? Even in today, right? Rockers are known to get down and dirty with even that, because there's no rules or laws in being a rocker or a rock star. It's in fact highly profitable for you to even share women like that. So during his performance for the movie, there was in fact a performance of Jagger's own in for a movie titled Performance, right? It included a sex scene involving German-Italian model Anita Pallenberg. The threesome action, yes, in the film, she's in fact a French actress, I should say. Is Anita a French actress, or did I just word that? I might need to resketch that as an edit with that sort of thing. But yes, she was in fact German-Italian, Anita was, right? But there was also too a French actress, Michelle Breton. Breton? Let me get that right. I'm in fact sawing everybody in half with the names and all that, because to have luxurious names is to say sometimes they can't be pronounced. I sound like Kanye West with that. And Kanye was saying buying stuff that you can't pronounce and all that. That's the same with these women, Mick Jaggers to be specific, in the role playing with that. So yes, it was in fact a German Italian model as well as a French actress that, yeah, there was a threesome action scene in that movie performance. That's the title of it. I said that 4 times. And it all looks highly realistic when you look at it. Completely true. Go check that out. See if you can look that up on Google. I'm sure it's possibly there somewhere, laying dormant, just waiting to be seen with that. So Jagger's bandmate, Keith Richards. Remember Keith Richards? That cool dude. He wasn't too cool about the sex scene. No, he was not, since he was in fact dating Anita at that time. I guess you could say about this story, threesomes, rock stars, where it meets threesomes is in fact a art form. It is. You can learn a lot about that. I'm saying that to be tied up over at Mick Jagger, possibly tied up in the bedroom too. That's funny in itself. I'll leave that alone. Some people can't take that in the mouth. I'm saying some people got strongholds where they can't be released, as in being able to face even that, as in how some people get down dirty with all that in between. So yeah, what you think about Mick Jagger being that old, having babies? Yeah, 22-month-old babies. That is off the hook, because when you calculate how old Mick Jagger is gonna be by the time that baby grow up, is to say, well, what do you have? Mick Jagger is almost, he got a few years ago before 80, and yet by the time that baby hit 18, is to say, well, yeah, let me calculate that. By the time Mick Jagger hit 80, 85. No, let me reverse that back and head where I was going into the direction, straightforward direction with that. When the baby get 18, how old is Mick Jagger going to be? And not only that, where is he going to be? I just would so love to know. People take chances in life, and you should, because like they say, you only live once, right? You would question, well, why would Mick Jagger wait this late to have a baby? Some people, in fact, feel that there's fulfillment in that, having a baby later on in life instead of before. Because even sometimes babies in fact bring much more joy later in life for individuals. Because sometimes people, especially celebrities, have traveled and been everywhere and seen everything. Done did it all, to the fact that once they get older, more mature, they feel like they have nothing else to live for, nothing else to go off of, or nothing else more to fulfill their world. And that's why too sometimes people in fact have babies later on in life, because it does present fulfillment and joy. It fills up space in their heart where, say, they lack love or true potential or anything else, right? That's not Mick Jagger. No, he always has had potential, even in today, being that old, 75 years old, right? But for each individual, it's in fact different. When I hear that question, well, why would such and such have a baby so late in life? What are you gonna do with that baby so late in life? And not only that, who's gonna raise that baby if you die off, right? But I'm thinking in life, maybe joy should be the aim in life. Joy. Doing things that fulfill you. Coming across things that fulfill you. Creating babies or love child or love children or whatever that fulfill you. Because you only live once. And even when you die, you can't take the child with you, right? That's all type of reasons why. Some people like to do that sort of thing to pass down their genes, to know that they can leave something behind when they're gone, being later on in life. Spreading territory or something like that. The family, knowing that you got something, there's all type of reasons. So I think that's all to be said for now. We're on Investigation Discovery website. That the ID logo is in fact in the far left corner. Live now, evil lives here, thicker than blood. Recommended for you, shouts out to Paula. The description sits right here. You can in fact click the play, not the play. Why did I say the play? The plus button. Well, it sounds just alike. That's possibly why I said it so close, right? Click this to add to favorites. Either one of these, you will in fact be meted and greeted by a description. American Monster descriptions. Vanity Fair Confidential. Blood Relatives. In Plain Sight. Unlocked episodes. What Lies Beneath Season 1 Episode 5. To get a visual, yes, as in a contact with that. To see it is to in fact click play. You can click here to plus to add the watch later. There's a lot of good features across the set. Must in fact be stated. On last night, to click the key is to in fact, yes, be able to sign in with your provider. You will have access getting past the lock, right, with that description. I'm just showing you, right, everything that is there. You can't really see it because I'm zooming past too fast. My greatest apologies. Unlock series. Stalked. Someone's watching. They better not be watching. I might in fact flip a horseshoe out the window on them. That's my mindset. I'm saying if it's a stalker outside my window, I might have to knock him over the head with a bowl of treats. And I don't mean tricks as in a bowl of cereal with that sort of thing. Possibly a box of bricks with cereal mixed together, maybe some Captain Crunch, and send it on its way out the window to knock somebody over the head. A stalker bet not be sitting out my window. I ain't playing. ID original series. Shoot Nightmares, Tales of Evil. All descriptions with this. Oops. I just did that in my last video, didn't I? I sure did. Schedule preview. You can see the preview right there as it sits in the weights below. Support the Save the Children's hurricane relief efforts. You can do that by donating by clicking here. Bill Cosby crime feed news. To click within here is to in fact be directed on the outside to the crime feed. Yes, crimefeed.com to be specific. All type of wild, crazy, lunatic news that go hand in hand with that. Possibly a fit. I don't know. To receive a newsletter is to type your email address in and click next with that. That is all to be said for now. Mick Jagger, I wonder how old he's going to live to see. That man possibly, because if his sperm is completely heated off the chain with that sort of thing, making babies at that age, as I say, he might in fact live to see 95. I don't know why I can see that. Because it's seeming like to me he's in, yes, high good health or something. You don't hear too many, well, I haven't seen and heard too much bad stuff about Mick Jagger and the health conditions and stuff like that. So I'm thinking he's going to be one of those type of individuals that live on later in life. I can see that coming on the registration. I just had to drop that there. So I think that's all to be said for now. Where everybody else drop dead like flies, you will continue to see Mick Jagger. You don't know, and you never even know. Mick Jagger, as old as he is, he may possibly even one day become the president, despite him being completely too far off in age, as in well off gone. You don't even know. These days, you don't know who's going to be president, so I think that's all to be said. I'm gone. Leave a comment.